Hello friends, good morning. As you guys know, this is the backup for live training which is going on for a corporate, and it will be streamed in YouTube. If you have any questions, you can ask me any in forums. And today we will be continuing where we left off yesterday with respect to Scala and Spark, and I will get started once I launch the session for the WebEx guys. And as I have been mentioning, if you want environment to practice by seeing these videos, you can sign up for my lab, or you can even use your own environment. And the plans in the lab are 1495 for 31 days, 3495 for 93, and 5495 for 185 days. If you have any questions while practicing, whether you signed up for lab or not, you can go to my forums, discuss.itversity.com, and you can post the questions over there. So let's get started for today's session. Okay, so let me first make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, now I will set up WebEx and then we'll start from there. Hello friends, let me mute everyone. Okay, so let's get started. So we are in the middle of the exercise. The exercise is to create a generate revenue for each department for each day. Okay, so the way you can get to the exercise is by choosing categories as big data, and then in that we have workshop exercises, and the exercise which is created is this one. You need to compute revenue for each day for each department, and you have to make it SBT project. You have to print order date, department name, and order revenue. When you are done, you can actually print few of the copy paste few of the records in the reply. Make sure you sort by date and department before you display, so that I can review and confirm that it is working as expected, if you are interested. Okay, and as I have been saying, use Scala interpreter or Scala workflow or console command line interface, whatever you term it, to first come up with the code which you need to develop, and validate after each and every step while using Spark APS, so that you understand how the data is stored and all. After that is done, you need to compile the program using SBT. You can run SBT package and it will generate the jar file. You have to ship the jar file to the lab, and you have to run in the lab, and you have to determine how many executors are used, how many tasks are used, and also you need to understand DAG for each stage. That will give you the end-to-end cycle of implementing and running a Spark-based application. Okay, so today we will continue in the same exercise. I will give few minutes, 10-15 minutes, to see if you guys have any questions. If you guys don't have any questions, we will proceed further and go to the next topic about, we will again come up with a new problem statement and try to use group by key more effectively outside aggregations. And also we'll see sorting, ranking, etc. for next couple of sessions. Thank you, Sumit. I will start recording. So I will reiterate the steps which you need to perform. You have to use SBT with Eclipse to develop. You have to get all completed orders and then compute total revenue for each day for each department. So you have to filter for both completed as well as closed. Okay, completed or or closed orders. Okay, and then you have to use Spark APIs to print order date, department name, and order revenue. So, and you have to use the Scala interpreter, preview the data after each step. Once that is done, develop the program using SBT and Eclipse. Okay. Compile the jar, ship it, and run it on the lab. Determine number of executors, and so on and so forth. So, any one of you actually ran the program so far? So let me know, some of you guys who are already on project, they might not get time outside these sessions. If you want to wait until this 1 hour, execute it, and if there are any issues, if I have to troubleshoot immediately, let me know. I will not go on to the new topics. You take your time for this 1 hour and try to get it, get as much done. Sorry, get as much of the problem statement done as possible. I could not frame the statement properly. So just start with it and see how far you can go. Okay. If there are any such folks who are using only this time to execute this, let me know. I will wait for you. So this is the link for your reference. And also, if you guys, the most important thing is you should not be stuck with issues such as SBT while setting up the environment. You have to develop the project using SBT. That is the best practice when it comes to implementing any Scala-based applications. So you have to get used to the SBT, even if you're using Eclipse with Maven. Don't try to build Maven projects because it is easy. You have to put that effort and then start using SBT. Okay, meanwhile, I will check what we'll be doing later. For now, you spend time by yourself for next 5-10 minutes. If I didn't get any questions, I will proceed further. Okay, so this for the next topic. So if you guys are done with computing the revenue for up to the level of getting the date, department name, and revenue, the next thing is we need to improvise the application. You have to externalize the parameters, which I have shown earlier already using typesafe. I will demonstrate that. And also on top of that, we need to use HDFS API called FS file system to actually validate if the directory already exists. If the directory already exists, and if you want to do something, we have to take care of those issues gracefully. Okay, so we will see those things also as part of this effort. So far no questions. I will wait for 2 more minutes, and then I will start improvising my current project, and you can implement those things as part of yours also.
Will be in the room for a long time. I have an interview to take actually.
Yeah. Until 12:30, I will be using this.
Somebody, I need to take an interview with somebody. Are you part of? Can you?
No, I'm in the middle of something. I am actually taking a class. So I'm back. So let's proceed further as no one is asking questions here. First I will prefer to do the file system validation rather than integrating type-safe config for externalizing, because I have demonstrated it already and you are familiar with that. So we'll take it to the next level and try to see how we can actually run some validations. For that, first I will convert this program to parameterize the input path and output path. Okay, so here we need to read two data sets, one for orders and one for order items. So instead of externalizing each and every, instead of pass both. Okay, so sorry, you guys were on mute. I spoke a little bit. Yes, Rohit, tell me. Any question? Okay, so we'll move on because there are no questions from any one of you. And here, what I will do is, yes, Rohit, go ahead. And respond to everyone. Change it to everyone and respond to everyone. If you want, you can unmute yourself and ask the question also. For each order date, order revenue is sum of the order subtotal. For each order date and department, you have to add subtotal. So, have you attended the last couple of sessions? So the problem statement says, please answer that question. If you haven't attended last two sessions, then I will get into a little bit of details. Okay, so this is the definition of getting the revenue for each order and for each order date and department. So first, okay. So what we can validate. Don't worry about it. As long as you are done with the program and you integrated with SBT and all those things, that is fine. It's very easy to compute. You can run a query in MySQL and validate also. So if anyone have any question about how to validate by yourself, I will show that one will give some clarity about how to validate. And also you can, better way of storing the data, printing the data is you can also use sort by key in this. Okay. So instead of saying revenue per day, collect for each println, you can also say sort by key, which means it will, in your case, it will sort by order date if order date is the first field, and then sort by department. Okay, you can do this, and then it will print the results. Instead of using collect, you can also say take of 10, so it will only print first 10. Then what you can do, you can go to MySQL. So here I am connecting to the lab. Very good question, Rohit. Actually, I should have answered a little bit earlier itself about how to validate, so that you are confident that whatever you have done is correct. Okay, now I am logging in. Sorry, I am getting my credentials here. Okay, now I'm in the lab. So from here you can say MySQL -u retail underscore DBA -h 01.itvarsity.com -p, give the password, use retail underscore DB, which is the username, which is the database name, and then we have the tables, orders and order items. Here you can run a query, select what we need, order date from orders, I'm validating only my one. You can come up with your own query later by joining all the 5 tables. O.order date, and then sum of OI dot order item subtotal. Okay, and let's name it as order revenue. Sum from orders O join order items OI. Okay, I think Sumit already gave the query for you guys to validate, so you can take that for your reference. Here you can say O dot. I have to say on O dot order ID equal to OI dot order item order ID, where O dot order status in complete and closed, and then group by O dot order date, order by O dot order date, and hit enter. So this is how you can validate. Okay, now if I run the program here, run as Scala application. So you can see on 24th of July, it is showing 50,885. And here also it is showing 50,885. Don't worry about this rounding error. Here it is showing as decimal, whereas there decimal of unlimited decimal points, there it is only rounding up to 2 to 3 decimal points. Okay. So this is the query. Sumit, I have actually pasted it, so you can use it. And make sure you do order by so that you get the results the way you want. How come? Is it for, so someone is complaining that my voice is not being recorded. Where is that message? Okay, I think in the YouTube probably. Let me validate that. Okay, I don't know from where that message came. Someone mentioned that my audio is not being recorded. I don't know how he validated this. Let me. I don't know. Probably it could be the message from recorder itself that my voice is not being recorded. So let's see. That's fine. We have the backup in YouTube. We will leave like that. Okay. So Rohit, you can run this. Make sure you use order by and get the data in the order you want so that you can validate easily. Or you can also use where condition here and filter only for few dates and few departments to validate. Okay. So now let us try to improvise this program. So if you think about it, earlier I have shown you how to actionalize the parameters by using typesafe config, and then how to pass the arguments. Okay. Here we know that we are actually computing total revenue. And in your case, you are actually getting data from 5 different tables. And it is specific to this problem statement. You will not be using those things for each and every program. So instead of passing each and every input path as a separate argument, we just send the base directory as an argument. Okay. So let's send the base directory as an argument, and also let's try to externalize this to yarn if we want to run it in a production cluster. On dev we want to run it in local. So I have already shown that the way you do it is, okay. So I am coming out of this. So you can update build.sbt here. So when it comes to externalizing the parameters, we use the typesafe config. So let me get it over here. I think this is where someone, no, not here. Anyway, typesafe config Scala. This is not the one. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, so this is how you add. So copy this one, paste it here. Okay, and let us start using it. Most likely it will not work, but let us see. So here I am saying import com dot typesafe dot, yeah, it actually worked. So you just update the build.sbt here, and it will package automatically. Okay. Now as part of your program, we can use types as config APIs also. So I'm using underscore here. Okay. And then we will create a new source directory. So you can right click on the project and go to new and say source folder and then source main resources. Okay. Now I want to create a new file, application.properties. Okay. So now I can say dev deployment mode. Sorry for the font size. Let me go to the command prompt and I will update this file from command prompt. Deployment mode will be local and then prod dot deployment mode is yarn client. Okay, yarn client or yarn, I do not remember exactly, but you can try. And here, first parameter will be the mode which I will be running, whether I will be running on dev mode or production mode, etc. Okay, so what we have to do, first thing we have to create val props equal to config factory dot load. Okay. Now props have all the properties in it. So I have to read these properties. I have shown this earlier also. So what we have to do, props dot get config, and in this case I want to get the first one. First one I want to pass it in the pass the execution mode. It depends upon which one you want to pass it which way. So in this case, I want to I want to pass the execution mode or deployment mode at the first parameter, and then I can say get something is not correct. I should see get string. 1 minute. I forgot. Yeah. So get string. So something is not correct. Okay, let me check it here again. Props dot get config get string. Yeah, I think this is how I have to do. Yeah. Thank you, Parmesh. Yeah, here I have to say argue. Yeah. Thank you very much. Good catch. Okay. Now, if we pass dev as the parameter from application.properties, it will pick local. Otherwise, it will pick client if prod is the parameter. Okay. So here, now I want to actualize the input parameter. Input path. I want to pass it as an argument. Okay. So to validate and for all other practical purposes, here you need to have a good understanding of HDFS APIs. Okay, internally to deal with files, Spark also uses HDFS. Okay, so that one, the way you need to explore is go to Google and search for org.apache.hadoop.ss. Okay, this is the main package. Let me see which one you should go. I think you can go to this one. Okay, I'm zooming in a little bit here, and on the left side you can choose the packages. So if you actually see this package hierarchy, you will understand what all file systems it will work. Okay, so FS is the main file system, which is HDFS. And then if you are dealing with cloud, there is a sub package called Azure. So if you are using Microsoft HD Insights, and if you want to read data from Azure directly, you can use APIs from this package. Similarly, if you are using AWS, you can use APIs from S3 if you want to customize anything. Most of the things will work seamlessly, but there are few cases where you have to customize it. In that scenario, you have to explore the other sub packages of FS. Here we are talking about HDFS or regular file system, and all the classes, interfaces related to HDFS are part of Hadoop FS. So as I have mentioned earlier, Spark does not have its own file system. It works on top of HDFS. Okay. Now if you see, there are multiple classes in this, direct known subclasses. One is path. Okay, so this is also part of yeah, you can see here org.hadoop.apache.hadoop.fs. These are the interfaces and these are the classes. So to interpret any string as path, we have to use this path class. Okay, we have to convert it into path object, and we can apply few APIs on top of it. So let us keep it simple, and let us say if whatever input path we pass does not exist, it has to complain saying that path does not exist and it should fail without running the rest of the stuff. Okay, so what you have to do first, you have to remove this one from all the places, because this one will be passed as argument. Okay, so let's create a variable val path equal to args of 1, and it is of type string. So we have to convert it, but we have to make it a path so that we can use APIs on top of path to validate, etc. So what we have to do, we have to say new path let's keep it like this only, because we have to pass a string here, but to validate we have to convert it to a path. Okay, so here I am saying if, yeah, let me convert it into a object itself. Let me finish and then I will explain. Okay, so new path, and it does not know from which we need to pick this. Hence, we have to import org.apache.hadoop.fs dot underscore. So underscore will import all the classes, interfaces that are part of the FS package. Okay, now the other is gone. Okay, now if path dot there should be some APIs. Let me see. Compare to depth equals get name hash code. Okay, let me pick it up instead of wasting time here. Let me go to my blog. I already have this. Yeah, I will do that. Just give me a minute. Yes, that's correct. That's what we have to do. Okay, I already have that as part of my material. So let me pick it up from here. I think I have it in this. Yeah, first thing what you have to do is you have to do this one. First, we need to get the file system. Okay, so that we can get it like this. Okay, so this will ensure that we get all the configurations related to Hadoop. Okay, and this will actually, this is of type file system. FS is of type file system. This is actually, this class, the file system class is the one which actually have the APIs to check whether the path exists or not. Okay, now what I can say is, I can say val. So someone is saying, Lakshmi Devi, I am able to hear the audio and able to see chat, but I'm not able to see your screen. Probably you might have to log out and log in, Lakshmi. I'm not sure why it is the case. Okay. Does anyone else have the same problem like Lakshmi? Does any uh, Sunil? Okay, it is Sunil who is having issue. Okay. Anyone else have the same problem? Anyone have the same problem as Sunil, where you cannot see the screen but able to hear and see chat? So one thing is, if you have YouTube URL, I think you can follow it on the YouTube. I mean, so if you have access to YouTube for you, some of you guys have access to YouTube. You can also watch from YouTube, and video is being streamed in YouTube. Okay, but there will be latency between what I'm talking and what you see on the YouTube. So you need to bear with that. Okay. So here I can create a variable called is exists equal to fs dot exists, and we can give the path. Okay, if not is exists, means if the path does not exist, then we can tell whatever we want to do. So in this case, I just want to print invalid input path and return. So I'm just copying this one. Okay. Now, if the path exists, we just have to say that. So this is just a base directory, right? So we have to use this because we have to concatenate strings only for text file. Okay, text file accepts only. Okay, now I understand where it is coming from. Your audio is not being recorded. I am not sure why the audio is not being recorded. Let me stop the recording and restart the recording. There seems to be some issue with WebEx. That's why recording is also not happening properly. Anyway, the content is being streamed to YouTube, so you can watch in YouTube later if you miss the class. That's why probably Sunil also might not be able to see the screen. There seems to be some issue with WebEx. Okay, so let me close this and retry again. Let me see if I'm saturated with the space. No, there is a lot of space. I don't know why it is not recording. Anyway, so video will not be recorded for today's session. So just use YouTube. It seems there is some issue with WebEx. Okay, now let me go back to this STS. So I'm only validating this one if the path does not exist. Return invalid input path. If we have output path, and if you want to do necessary action on output path, what we do, either we have to create subdirectories. Okay, let me name it as in path. And also I want to validate the output path. The output path, if out path does exist, we want to just delete it so that it can be recreated. Okay, so here val is out path exists equal to ff dot exists out path. Okay, so let me name this one also in path. Okay, so in this case, if out path exists, if it is true, then what I want to do, I want to ff dot delete, and we can give this out path. Okay, so there is some issue and it is deprecated. I think I know the new API also. This is how it should look like. We have to use both. Okay, it's just out path. Okay, this is already a path object, so I'm just cleaning it up. Sorry for the noise, some construction is going on around. Typically, we won't get this much of noise. I don't know why we are getting noise. Just give me a moment. Anyway, I think we have to bear with it. This is how you can handle if the output path exists. If you want to create a unique path, you can randomize or you can tag the timestamp and update the output path and use that path to write it out when we try to write it out as part of the program. Okay, now we have to append the in path to this. Okay, so here we just have to say args of 0 and then concatenate. Okay, same is the case with this because we are only passing a base directory. Okay, and let us try to write it out now. Revenue per day, it is an RDD and I want to sort it, and then I want to write into the file system. So I can say save as text file, and here we can give the path, which is nothing but args of 2. Okay, this one is actually args of 1. We have to be very careful with these paths. Okay, because in our program, the first argument is about the deployment mode, and the input path base directory is passed as args of 1 and second argument, and then output path is third argument. Okay, everything is clear. And one more thing which you need to make sure is, as most of you want to give the certification, make sure you understand how to write out in appropriate format. In this case, in the certification, if they ask, write it in comma separated file. If you directly write it like this, what will happen? The tuples will be written to HDFS or the file system. But typically they might ask, write it in comma separated or whatever it is. So the way you have to deal with it is by using map function before writing the RDD to the file system. So you have to say map rec. Here I have, I want to print the first element, which is nothing but order date, and then plus, and then tab or commas. Let's say they ask for comma separated, and then plus rec dot underscore 2. So it all depends upon how your data is represented. You have to read it accordingly. In your case, if you are using, if you are running this against revenue for each department for each date, your key is a composite key, okay, which itself is a tuple. The first element in that key is order date. The second element is department name, okay, and then you have revenue as the value for each date and department. So you have to understand how to write it out and make sure that data is written in the format they are expecting at the time of the certification. We will never store it as tuples. So don't try to write save as text file directly on RDD. It will store the tuples directly. It might breach the expectation of your client or the exam taker. Okay. Now I'm saying run as. Now I cannot directly run a Scala application because it is actually trying to get the arguments. So I have to use run configurations here. Okay, make sure you are in the appropriate main class. Go to arguments. I want to run in dev mode. And what is the path? The path is C colon users. Okay, research data retail underscore DB. And output path, let's give the same path and then make it as total revenue. Okay, click on apply and click on run. Say okay. I didn't save it. That's why it is asking me to save. So now it ran successfully. There are no exceptions. Go here, cd sig drive c users Viswa, and then research data ls-ltr. You can see total revenue ls-ltr, and you can see the file. Okay, let me say cat. You can see the data. Okay, if I want to change it to tab, I can just say tab here. So here we are just transforming the tuple into some delimited data set. For any transformation on RDDs, we have to use map function. Okay, it's a hard and fast rule. For any row level transformation, for each and every incoming record, if you are emitting out one outgoing record, then you have to use map function. If it is array, if it is emitting out array, and if you want to flatten it, then you have to use flat map. If you want to clean up, you have to use filter and give the expression. So you need to make sure you understand the relevance of these APIs, and you should start using the relevant APIs for your purpose. Okay, now I will also tweak the path a little bit so that we see whether it will throw exception or not. Okay, so I'm going to argument, and here I'm only saying retail underscore D. Apply, run. So see here, I'm not throwing any exception. I'm just printing invalid input path and returning it. So it printed the invalid input path. You have to follow the best practices of your project, and you have to take the necessary action, whether you want to log it, make sure the information go to the operations team so that they can troubleshoot the issue. You have to include as part of your design and implementation. Here I'm just to show how the FS package of HDFS can be used as part of your Spark applications to customize the output directories, to validate your input directories. I just showed this, and there are so many APIs which you need to explore while working on the project. For the certification and for learning Spark, this is not that important. It could be distraction, but at the time of implementations, you need to have you need to spend enough time to understand the solve.apache.hadoop.ss API. Okay, and these are the interfaces. If you go to those names, you will understand most of them. But typically, we primarily use the file system class, which have bunch of methods such as exists, delete, whatever command we are using, using Hadoop FS. There are methods in this, and these methods will be invoked when you use Hadoop FS in the command line. For example, we have been using copy from file to copy into HDFS, right? So if you go to this file system class, and if you search for copy from so there is a method called copy from local file. This is the one which will be used when you run that Hadoop SS hyphen copy from local at the command line. You can go to this and you can compare with the Hadoop FS output, and most of the commands which deal with files are served by this class. Okay, and having this knowledge, especially for the architects, having the knowledge of this class will help reviewing the code of the developers to make sure that they are not writing unnecessary code or using appropriate APIs to deal with those scenarios, such as validating whether the input paths exist, or validating the input paths, and also generating the output path. You can make it as sophisticated as possible. You can actually create output path based upon values from the data. For that, you need to understand the APIs thoroughly. Okay. So that being said, make sure you also improvise your program following what I have mentioned. Let me run once again with appropriate, with correct input path, and see how our output look like. Okay, it is deleted because we have the logic to delete and then recreate. Typically, we don't do this. We will actually typically we don't do this. We will actually generate the unique name. Okay. One minute. Okay. Okay, so now let me look into the data. View part, sorry, cat part. Now you see tab is placed in between the data, between the columns. Okay, is it clear now? And it's very important to understand changing the using the map function on the output so that you save it the way it is expected as part of the project or even in the certifications. This can be common question. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. So from tomorrow onwards, we will be getting into sorting and ranking. Okay, so we have 4 more minutes. You can ask any questions now. From tomorrow, we'll get into sorting, ranking. We will first do global sorting, global ranking, and then we will actually get into by key sorting, by key ranking. It is also very, very important topic, and you will get enough knowledge about. You will get enough knowledge. Okay, you will get enough knowledge about using Scala-based functions while writing some complex scenarios, integrating with Spark-based APIs. So Sumit is asking to paste this. So let me paste this. Okay, any questions here? We have 3 more minutes. So I will give 10-15 seconds. If you don't have any questions, we will discuss for Spark and Scala session today. And then we will move on to the next topic. Okay, so I'm stopping for a minute, and also I will be on mute, and then I will come back and we will work on a scoop exercise again. So we'll be using a new data set to copy the data, which is NYSE, and also we will see how to export. So it will be, I will try to explain a scenario where you will be importing data to HDFS and manipulate the data and then ship the data back to MySQL. Okay, there is a two databases, retail underscore import and retail underscore export. So I will explain what needs to be done once I start this next session, and we will take it from there. So I'm keeping the, I'm muting myself and stopping screen sharing. I will come back in a few minutes. Those who are on YouTube live session, thank you very much for joining today's session. I will be stopping this and I will be starting the scoop session. With today, the scoop portion will be done, and tomorrow the second half will be having Hive. That being said, thank you very much for being part of these sessions. We still have 7 to 8 more sessions. It was expected to be 20 hours, but we will be extending a little bit further, 3 to 4 hours more, and the sessions will be extended. And stay tuned so that you gain enough knowledge in Scala and Spark. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.